Hey guys, welcome back. We're here at Sherwin-Williams in St. Joseph, and this is Lexi. We wanted to go through some different things about paint this month. Well, actually, really this week.
Yeah.
We're talking about paint, and we've talked about paint many times with you guys, but we have got some concepts that really have, we've been working with our customers, and honestly, they've been asking about paint consultations and things like that, and this is really what's worked. So we're going to show you what's working in the whole theory of paint. Okay?
Yes, for sure.
So one of the things that people have been asking us a lot about, you're going to turn around?
Yeah.
So one of the things that people have been asking us about in their house is they'll say, we have all different types of neutral colors, but our house doesn't feel like it flows. Well, first off, I want to tell you, and you're in your house and you're picking out paint colors, there's a couple different things, standard rules that I like to go by. If you have lots of different neutral palettes in your house, regardless if they're really pretty, if they don't flow, it's not really going to go. There are certain areas that you can actually use paint colors, and we're going to go over that today. But one thing that I always recommend is this. You got to decide whether you're a gray person or you're a brown person. Now, I'm not talking about fabrics and things like that. I'm just talking about walls. So when you go into a house, what is more attractive to you? Is it brown or is it gray? That's something that you really, truly need to pick out. So when you're asking yourself about paint colors, it's not just going into Sherwin-Williams and seeing all the various colors. Just trust me, they have hundreds of them. You need to ask yourself, are you a gray person or are you a brown? And when I say brown, that really fits into the whole category of cream as well. Okay?
Yeah. I'm going to show you guys this as she's talking over here.
So when you're asking yourself these different colors, just ask yourself if that's what you really are. If you're a brown person or a gray person.
So when you look at these color sets here, you can kind of, it's going to get messed up there. You can kind of tell the difference. So these are more of the browns.
Which are warmer tones.
Yeah, and these are more of the grays. So it's just whatever one you pull towards naturally. So if you think these ones are more attractive than, say, maybe these ones, then you're a gray person. So if you're attracted to more of these warmer ones, where you guys can kind of get closer. If you think these are more attractive, then you're probably a brown, taupey, cream person. Whereas if you think these ones are better, you're more of a gray person.
Okay, so let's talk about what the difference are. So when somebody tells me, hey, Tabitha, I really love grays. Grays are my thing. So I would say that you're a little bit cooler person and that you really want more of a modern look. Even though gray can definitely pull, and you guys have seen these in our pictures and different things like that. Gray can also be a very neutral color, but it also is more of a modern, cool person. So now, when I want to say that, you can mix the two because people ask me that all the time. But you will definitely, after you ask yourself that, you're going to know right off. Because I know that I'm more of a warm person. I've had light French gray in my house for the last, I'd say 4 or 5 years. And honestly, it's just not for me. Now, I've decorated with it and it's absolutely stunning. And people have actually said, this is the prettiest house they've ever seen. Or some people come in and say, oh, it's a little cool for me. So you have to ask yourself that. Once you ask yourself if you're a brown or you're a gray person, then that's when you pick out your color. Now, if you say, hey, Tabitha, I'm a gray person and I really want this and I love this, I just don't know what gray color, then you know what color palette to look at. You kind of leave the browns alone and you're going to look at all the grays. Versus if you're a brown person, you really want all brown, then you know that you don't even have to look at the grays because that's not even an option. Does that make sense? So that eliminates a lot of the problem. The second thing I want to say, when you're picking out a neutral color for your home, I'm going to say this, and I know this is going to really ruffle some feathers, but when you're picking out a neutral color for your home, you're picking out a color that you want to see pretty much about everywhere, okay? If you're not having another color pulled in there, you're going to put that in every single room that you don't have a color or wallpaper. So there's only 3 options you have. A really beautiful neutral color that you're going to put absolutely everywhere, all over every wall, unless you have a accent color with it or a wallpaper. So it really eliminates a lot of the hassle and a lot of the problem. What people do is they come in and they go through all the different colors. I love this color, I love this color, I love this color. And what happens is that makes the house not look very cohesive. It makes it feel very broke up, and it doesn't make the house flow, because you're not only just picking out paint color, you're also going to put back accessories. And what happens is the house starts to look like a mismatch of everything. So you need a couple things to be flowing, and I always tell everybody this right off. You need a neutral color that you're going to take and put everywhere, which will unify and signify your home to be very cohesive. The second thing is you're going to have less flooring in your house will help you also do the same thing. It just brings the house to a peaceful, calming feeling, and it also makes it feel new and brand new, and it makes it feel very cohesive. Have you ever walked into somebody's house and you just walk through each room and you just love and you can appreciate the artwork and everything, and you're not really like, wow, my eyes are just going everywhere? It's probably more likely because they have a lot of flooring, and if your eyes are like, oh, this is a lot, and a lot of colors. So let's talk about, once you've decided what color you like, you're gray or you're a brown person, then that's when you pick out the one color that you love, that you know you're going to love, and pretty much throughout your whole entire house. So after you pick that out, you got to say, where can you have another color, another neutral color, or not a neutral color, a color that we're going to bring color in. Dining rooms are one of them. If your kitchen is large and has an eat-in kitchen, you can put a color in there. I love master baths. That's really a nice place to put it. In kids' rooms or another space, you can do that. Half baths, I really think, is a really great place to put wallpaper in dining rooms. Okay. Libraries are another place that you want to put color, or you want to put wallpaper. So those are your spaces that are free spaces. I call those free spaces that you can use a green in or a navy in. But once again, those that are on the same floor have got to flow. So
For sure.
So I hope this is making sense to you. So if you're telling me, hey, Tabitha, I am, let's just say we're a gray person, okay? Like we had at the Willow House, we had gray everywhere. It's absolutely stunning. And you say, hey, I'm a gray person. I'm going to come over here. I want to show you a couple different blues that would just be absolutely gorgeous with it. See how that's so pretty? You could put this indigo, I don't even know what it's called. What is this called?
Batik.
Batik? My favorite is navel, but look at this. You could put these navies. I love this one. It's just a little deeper color, but you could put this in your office or your dining room. Okay, and that's your palette. So we're building your palette here is what we're doing. The next thing you say, oh, I really want to put in a little bit of green. Look at this right here. I'm just kind of hitting it. See how that's a pretty palette already? So once you decide what your neutral is, and it's going to be your neutral, it's really easy to be able to pull in all the other things with it and make it flow. Especially if you're just in a dining room, an office, a master bedroom. You can pull those colors in there with linens and other textiles and also artwork. So you don't really want to go crazy with a bunch of different colors. The main thing is to stay to your neutral color and palette, and you can't go wrong.
For sure. And I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to move a few of these over. These are the trending accents that we would suggest for right now. We have this red bay. This is actually in our dining room, so if you've seen videos of that, I'm going to be putting this one in Matthew's house somewhere. You're standing in the light.
Oh, sorry.
This one is navel. We have this one in our downstairs dining room. This one is a color we have used in a lot of our homes that we have redone. So if you guys come to open houses, this is usually the dining room color. I can post this color with the dining room set. Which house was that? Was that Autumn?
Is it Autumn House?
No,
it was the one that we did before. I
can't remember right now. But we put this one in the dining room. This one we have not used before, but it was actually the color of the year last year. It's kind of like a play off the like sea salt, so it's really popular in like kind of farmhousey houses. This is iron ore. We put this one in the Willow House. So that one was in the dome room of the Willow House, and it was so pretty.
And it was actually pulled with the light French gray.
Yeah, so let's move these over.
So if you go with something like that.
These were together.
And
then we had alabaster here. So this was the paint color.
Okay. So now we got to talk about the next rule.
Yes.
So the next rule, when you pick out your whether you're a gray or you're a brown person, that's the first rule. Pick that out and decide what neutral color you're going to go with throughout your house. Once you've done that, once you kind of go into that, the next thing you have to ask yourself, do I have painted trim or do I have stain trim? Now, why is that going to matter? And I'm going to tell you right now. right now. Okay, so once you pick out what you decide, okay, I have trim. Let's just say my trim is alabaster, right? See how pulling in any of these little colors like this, it's gonna, see how that's gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous. If you have a stained trim and you say, Tabitha, I want to pull in this, see the difference between this versus if you have something that's dark with it already. I don't have a piece of wood here, but if you have a piece of wood and it's all dark, it's going to make a big difference of what colors you're going to pull in for your accent colors. Because if you're stained, if you have stained wood, I more than likely wouldn't recommend this unless you want it to look like a color drench in there, because it's going to be dark and very muted.
Yeah.
And that's not something you want to do. Most people want a variance in their trim and stuff. But if you don't, that's okay in one of the rooms, because trust me, I'm loving the whole color drenching. But see the difference of this with it? It lightens it up, and you can go with some of these darker, moodier colors. Now, if it doesn't, and you're asking yourself, and you're sitting there and you're saying, hey, Tabitha, I already have a stained trim. This would be beautiful with it. See the difference?
It's lighter, so there's more of a contrast. You want contrast between them so you can see it.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. But not that if you have white, you can't use this. You can. It's just that, like in the Magnolia house right now, and we're really trying to work around that dark, heavy wood. And sometimes I really love that color drenching or that real dark moodiness. But in every single room in the house, you really have to lighten it up, and you really want to make it feel like it's lighter and brighter. You don't want every room to feel so moody.
No, because if there's too much moody, sometimes we hear that it feels stuffy, or that like it's kind of like a cave. You don't want to live in a cave.
And we don't want that.
We don't want that.
So I think one of the biggest things that you need to definitely ask yourself, you're brown, are you a gray person? And then after that, do you have white trim or do you have stained trim? Because those are going to help you to define what accent colors you put in your house. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
All of that being said, or those things to be happening. So this week, what I want you to do is to take inventory. Do you have stained wood or do you have white wood? And do you have a neutral color palette in your house? Go around your house and let me know below, because I'm really curious about this. I want to know if you have stained wood or colored wood, and do you have a neutral color palette, which means do you have one color that you have pretty much throughout your entire house? And if you don't, how many colors do you have in your house? I'm curious.
Yes, that's a good question. I want to know that.
Yeah, I do. I definitely want to know that, because I've just been noticing that people that are doing the color consultations, literally will show up and they'll have like 6 or 7 different colors, and they're like, I love all of these, and so do I, but I don't in the same home.
No, you have to pick one.
You have to pick one.
One is a good start.
One is a good start, and then from those two things, knowing those two things, we can build off of that and go into accent colors and wallpapers, which is...
Because you can also bring in colors through your artwork, so you don't have to paint your walls to get the colors you want.
Right. And I think Renee, that is here in our community, we were trying to talk about that this morning. She was asking me about colors and what should she do. And we're just talking about paint, basically. But once you put your accessories in there, your artwork, your sofas, your rugs, all those things.
Your throws, your pillows.
You're adding all of those different layers in there, and you have to keep those in account. And sometimes we just need a neutral base to just make everything flow.
For sure.
I hope this is helpful. Let me know if this video is helpful. And if you guys want us to kind of go through some different wallpapers as well. So this week, your homework, let me know. Do you have stained or painted trim? And do you have one neutral color, or how many color palettes do you have in your house?
Yes.
Okay,
So we'll talk to you guys soon.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.